What's up, guys? So last video I talked about fat cycling and it sparked some talks at the gym on social media. I did a quick search, see if anybody's even just talked about fat cycling. It seems pretty basic to me, but I haven't seen anything out there, so I decided to make a video on it. So with my videos, just keep in mind, I keep things super simple. Like, you already have an understanding of fitness and diet, at least the smallest amount. I don't try to go into detail. I don't try to overwhelm you with my unknowledge, because I don't really have, you know, any super duper superpowers or expertise in dieting, other than the fact this is my passion and this is what I do, and this is what I like to talk about with my friends. I like to inspire people, so you're gonna get the information pretty much based like that, you know. Most people have heard of carb cycling, and let me fix this. This is no different than carb cycling, but it's kind of carb cycling for those people on keto. We can't cycle carbs on keto. It doesn't make any sense, you know. I mean, you can add some carbs in, but it's, you know, I mean, those are other benefits. Other times it's completely different than what you're looking for when you're carb cycling. So when somebody carb cycles, they're typically giving themselves more energy. That's what carbs are. They're energy for the carb dieter. And they're giving themselves more energy around their workouts, on their heavier days, and they're going lower energy when they want their body to tap into their fat. Okay, they're lowering their energy, they're cycling down the carbs so that they can burn more fat. And when you're on keto and you're fat adapted, you can't carb cycle, so you fat cycle. And this isn't for the obese person, this isn't for the average Joe that still has 20 pounds to lose, okay? This is for somebody on the tail end of what they're doing, okay? They're fully fat adapted. They've done their homework, they know their diet well, and they just can't seem to shed those last few pounds and lower that percentage of body fat. In my case, I'm prepping for a show, so I'm fat cycling. But basically what it is that I go 2 to 3 to 4 days, depending on my mood, right? I don't like having things set in stone. Some people do. That's totally preference, okay? But for 2, 3, 4 days, depending on the stresses in my life, I will lower my overall fat intake, which is energy, okay, to a point that I'm in a further deficit. I keep my proteins the same. I still keep my carbs extremely low, okay? I'm not flip-flopping. I'm just cycling in and out of my fats. And on the days that I'm lower fat intake, my body has more of a reason, right, to tap into my own personal body fat on my body, okay? And like I said, this is not for the obese person. This is not for the average Joe that's looking to lose like 20 pounds or something like that, you know, and they just started keto. This is for the well-adapted, fat-adapted athlete, somebody who's been doing this diet for a while and they just can't seem to get it, you know. And what happens is people put themselves in a box. They refuse to change what they're doing and maybe even fat cycle in the first place because strict keto macros has got them where they are. And albeit they're not going to change, they're just going to keep eating those strict keto macros. And you know, that's fine if you put yourself in a box like that, and people will tell you that if you lower your fat intake on those days, you're kicked out of keto. I don't believe it so. I believe that when you, and I don't even like chasing ketones. I don't like that philosophy, always chasing ketones. If you should be chasing the image, you should be chasing health, you should be chasing, you know, other goals other than ketones on a stick. But anyhow, you lowered the body, the fat, to give your body a reason to tap into its own fat. So like I said, it's very similar to carb cycling. It's just fat cycling. And you know, and sometimes you need a fat refeed. You can watch other bodybuilders or other people that have gone through preps, and they'll even comment on their channels, hey, you know, I'm having a fat refeed day. It's because they've been so low on calories, right? And some stay strict keto and some fat cycle, but they're so low that they need to spike it back up to have an energy boost to correct their leptin, to correct their hormonal balance, right? And that's pretty much what I do. And I'll tell you what, I've been fat cycling for the last 2 weeks, and I wouldn't fat cycle forever, nonstop. You know, this is a special tool. This is another wrench in the toolbox. But I've been fat cycling for about 2 weeks, and I can clearly see the difference. The proof will be in the numbers when I have my body comp tested. in 2 or 3 days, and I'll make that in my other video series. But fat cycling, it's just for the keto, fat adapted athlete, even a low carb athlete, right? You don't have to necessarily be keto, but you just cycle in your energy source. It's not rocket science. But I had a lot of people go, whoa, what is this fat cycling? Well, it's just like carb cycling. We're just not cycling carbs, okay? Carbs and fat are both energy sources for the body. Protein is the building block, okay? So you've either adapted yourself to be mostly carb-based or mostly fat-based. And in my case, and with most of the people's cases who watch this video or watch my channel, they're fat-based athletes. And it's just another tool to shed 2 or 3, 5 percentage points of body fat. And so far for me, it's working great. I don't know if I'm going to do it for the rest of my prep, but I more than likely will, because I feel extreme results from it. It's working well. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, do what you normally do at the end of a YouTube video. Thank you guys for watching.